right here. I'm always going to be here for you, Lizzie. And then you would disappear back into your fucking phone. And I would turn back into the ghost you've made of me, the whisper of the woman you used to love. 1. Elizabeth. Beale Street after 5? I'd rather kill myself. Patricia was leaning against the main lobby's printer, her nurse costume clinging tight to her skin. It was inappropriate for an office setting in every sense of the word, the blouse cut too low and the skirt too short. Her only real saving grace was that she waited until I'd finished with my shift at the learning center to change into it, making sure no one saw her but me. That seemed to be the rhythm of our entire relationship. Patricia always coming just as I was going. Patricia wanting to tag along on errands that I desperately wanted to get done by myself. Ever since I'd opened the door to her welcoming me to the neighborhood with homemade brownies and a megawatt smile, she'd been around. A little offbeat, a fly in the ointment that was my attempt to not have a fly in my ointment. Yeah, well, that's what David told me they were up to, I replied, my fingers gliding along the printer's control screen, getting a drink at the absinthe room. So they're pre-gaming before the Halloween party tonight. Patricia rolled her eyes, punctuating the end of her sentence. What is it with men and trying to relive their college glory days? I bit my tongue, hard, as a fresh copy landed in the printer tray. I knew for a fact that Patricia had wanted to be a nurse when she was in college and that she'd flunked out of the program. It was one of those stories she'd always come back to when there were any lulls in our conversations, whenever it seemed like there might be a single moment of silence between us. I never asked her why she was so hell-bent on reliving something from her past that had clearly hurt. Why she always felt the need to bring it up again, like she was stuck in some modern-day version of the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Maybe it was the failure. Maybe Patricia wasn't used to it. Maybe that was the first time it had ever happened, the first time she'd ever been scarred by anything like it. Like a little kid who can't stop telling people about the first time they ever got a sunburn at the beach. Failing was a novelty. What are you supposed to be, Liz? Patricia nodded over at my outfit. You look interesting, at least. Stevie Nicks, I answered with a slight shrug. But maybe without the innate talent and grace, I'm coming off more like a burnt-out hippie. Patricia smirked, but she didn't laugh. Like she was amused, but didn't want to fully admit it. Did David buy you that? Nope, I thrifted most of it. Thrifted? Why? Her eyes widened with abject horror. You and David aren't having money problems, are you? No, that's not, because you could tell me if you were, she interrupted. Jack and I would be happy to help. We're not having money problems. It was my turn to do the interrupting. David and I are fine. I just think thrifting is better for the environment. That's all. Better for the environment? You know, fast fashion and all that. I shrugged again as I pulled a stack of freshly printed copies close to my chest. I read an article about it online. Recycling clothes is all the rage. Okay, Patricia murmured, like she didn't believe a word of what I was saying. And it took everything in me not to drop the stack of copies back onto the landing tray, pull up the article I'd seen on my phone, and make Patricia digest every word. There was just something about suburbanites and lying. They lied so much that they assumed everyone else was always lying too. Lying about how much they're pulling in a year. Lying about how wonderful it is to be a mother, a father. Lying about how much they love the holidays, their spouses, their car, their job, their life. Always lying, lying, lying. But not me. I long suspected it was one of the reasons I never felt like I really fit into the rest of Harbor Town, no matter how much they wanted me to. I wasn't interested in crafting some version of myself that I could never live up to. And I wasn't interested in spending my precious time on this planet surrounding myself with people who wanted their lives to resemble SUV commercials. Saccharine, sweet,